So it's been released that fewer black students because of affirmative action are going to some of these top colleges. And I got to ask my thoughts. There's still black schools to go to. And for the people who be having a problem with, say, for instance, Kamala Harris talking about going to an HBCU, that's tough. Because you can always go back home when they don't want you. You know, and let's be real, you can get you a trade too. You really ain't got to go to the school. But if you do go, there's nothing wrong with being black and going to a black college. What's wrong with historically black college? There's nothing wrong with it. Ivy League don't want you. Well, let me give you a news flash. They never did. See, they had rules in place to try to get tokens and level the playing field, or if you were an athlete for scholarship or something, but they never really wanted you. Ain't it funny how Clarence Thomas benefited from it, wanted to take it away? That's what they do. That's what they do. Get in, you can't get it. The thing about it is this: there's been obvious bias. Am I supposed to believe that with Brown versus Board of Education, that a real Supreme Court justice and Thurgood Marshall, not these amateurs that are there, no disrespect to Supreme Court Thomas, the one that just got appointed, first African American one, but am I supposed to believe them other ones are credible to Thurgood Marshall? They can't carry Thurgood Marshall's mustache. And what he was on about was after decades and eras of open discrimination to level the field. Am I supposed to believe that since the 60s that the playing field has been leveled in a country that's over 400 plus years old? Make it make some sense, please. Make it make sense that you will sit there and say that people can't come in, even though you helped the black folk build those schools, built those areas. Yeah, how about that? They don't teach you that in school. So they don't want you there. Go to the black schools. You ain't got to go to Ivy League. You know, you ain't got to have it. Now, they'll have you thinking that that's the reasons and that, well, because they've always had quotas in all the schools. They've had it in busing when you went to elementary school, middle school, junior high, high school. Tell me something how this is different than what college when they had busing. Make it make sense with legalized, institutionalized, systematic racism. Yeah, you didn't know and didn't think about that public school needed black faces to make up the classrooms and teachers too, because it was not legalized. Jim Crowism, you know. People don't like to hear the hardcore truth and facts. And they say, well, if you're educated, you're gonna that's not how it works. Everybody know that money talk. Oh yeah, wasn't that former President Bush Jr. who got into an Ivy League school with basically his writing his name and some real basic stuff because his scores didn't really match up to be an Ivy League school, but he got hooked up. Tell me his last name is and his push and complexion for protection didn't get him hooked up. It works that way. So to sit up there and act like there isn't some form of it going on when it doesn't really, and eventually, like 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't even benefiting black folks. That's the sad part of it. What they try to tell you anyway. The lie they try to push out that, oh, they only here because they got affirmative action. And I had an interesting story working in a restaurant many years ago. Cat actually was so mad that I was getting hours at a restaurant. He actually said, "Oh, it must be affirmative action." This is how people think, you know, because privilege has allowed you to say the most off the wall things and no regards and no shame and no tactics without understanding that actually you're the one that's getting affirmative action because you're been affirming the actions based on forefathers, foremothers who allowed you to hold said situations. Actually, you didn't earn it. That's the crime. That's the criminality and the crime of it all. The actual recipients of affirmative action don't earn it. They get to set the rules because they got to set the rules in the first place because their playing field wasn't level. So am I supposed to believe that the playing field in 60 years is somehow supposed to make up for over 400 plus years? Am I what I'm supposed to do? If we're going to use the criteria of balance and injustices and see social and economical, institutionalized, compartmentalized, am I supposed to make that? Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share it if you like. Please hit that membership, because when you do the videos requests, I get them back to you. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay full, stay clear, stay cool and calm. I'm out one time.